Hello, welcome back to our MekHQ playthrough for Raven Acquisitions. As you can see, we have sorted out our repair situation here. The fire starter is going to need some parts that we have ordered. The javelin, same deal, it's going to need some parts. And the wyvern just needs armor, and that's just a matter of time. Partisan, it's kind of stuck in limbo here, where I want to load the flak ammo into it. I'm not sure how to reverse this. I think I might just have to wait for the shots to arrive, and then it reloads that, and then I can go back into the hangar and load in normal ammunition for it again. You can see that we've ordered a few more parts. Our logistics people are maxed out for the moment, just ordering all kinds of stuff. And then we went through all the repairs. And by went through, I mean I just hit the mass salvage button. Anywho, let's do a VIP ambush. Looks like it's going to be in the mountains. Or no, it's not. It's going to be, I don't know, are these mountains? They don't look as bad as that. Maybe they're like hills or something. It says forest woods deep. The enemy will control the battlefield at the end. We just need to destroy the VIP. So we'll just do that. We'll aim to kill the VIP. And I seem to recall putting in maybe this particular lance because it's slightly more mobile. Mobile? Yeah, we got the Wolverine. And then if it's not like super heavy woods, then the the Ostrock can kind of run forward with it as well. Let's go say the Hunchback, but it's the same speed as the heavies. Meanwhile, who's the VIP we have to get? It's a Stalker. So that's going to be a little bit of a rough one, perhaps, but we'll see. We got some excellent pilots, except for the Ostrock. But the Ostrock is a good like mech pilot. He's not a good gunner. He's a good mech pilot. Oh no, this map is bad. This map is real bad. Oh, this is going to be horrendous. Okay. What if what happens if you hit auto resolve? Like, what does that do? Hang on. Hang on. Auto resolve. I'm not sure which one I'm supposed to use. I imagine the blue one because it's like in blue. Hang on. Let me save the campaign here real quick before I do that. Just testing it. I just want to see what it does. What is this? Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Um, let's exit that. Okay. All right, back to. Uh-oh. Okay, I lost my window. All right, never mind. Let's start the game again. Sorry, my bad. I thought maybe I could just auto-resolve the battle. I'm not too interested about who wins or who loses. I just don't want to have to deal with this for the next hour. All right, let's do it. Yep. Okay. Pretty much the same map. There's our VIP. And it's a big map on top of everything else. What a humbug. Excuse my language. I'll go that way. No, I think this might be the quote unquote clearest path forward here. Less restricted. Wolverine. And the Wolverine pilot is excellent. This is going to be absolutely miserable. I hate super cluttered maps where you just can't move. Jump. The problem is, as good as the Wolverine might be, I think it's still going to take them quite a while to whittle down the stalker, and the enemy is going to be all clustered around it in the process. Oh my gosh. All right, Wolverine, uh, jump. Maybe our reinforcements will arrive from somewhere useful. We do have reinforcements on the way. They're starting south. Yuck. Okay. Would anyone be mad uh, if we don't fight this battle? All right, let's close out of that, and we're just going to advance a day, and we'll continue as ordered. We're not fighting it. Just don't feel like it. I mean, call it what you will. I just don't feel like it. It's too much. All right, let's deploy a scout or a patrol here. There we go. We got some new fights. There'll be a lot of fights. Don't worry about that. So we got 2 fights today. Allied mechs are approaching the area. So we have to destroy 50%. So it's a hot sea jungle, and this one is a pivotal engagement. Hot town hot desert. So it's ground reinforcements plus op 4. Cool. A massive force is taken to the field. If they're allowed to gain momentum, they'll become an unstoppable threat. We have to destroy 25% of them. That's pivotal engagement. Well, then you know what that means. Time to bust out the big boys. Well, they already had a battle. Let me see what else we got here. Let's do Baker Lance. No, the Partisan's still trying to reload the ammo. Never mind. So I guess it will be Able Lance. So Able Lance to pivotal engagement. There we go. So Able Lance, and then the regular engagement. That is just kill 50% of them. Hot jungle. Who do we got? We will send in third company. How about Hotel Lance? We'll send in Hotel. We got at least one jumper in there. So off you go with Hotel Lance. Okay. Now we're going to do a battle. Let's do pivotal engagement. Start the game. Commence the drop. Yeah, if there's like 50% less forest on that other map, I'd be happy to fight it. But as you can see, that we were getting maybe 2 hexes of movement sometimes in some of our mechs. It's just too much. I don't. It would really it'd take over an hour to do all that. Right. Oh, minefields, huh? So we are deploying northwest. The enemy is deploying east or southeast and center for the okay, southeast and center for the defenses. So southeast. Um, Minefield number 1 will go like this. Minefield number 2 will go like this. Like this. Then we'll do another line southeast. like this, because we don't know where they're going to really deploy at. But all we can do is hopefully set up some kind of trap they can hit. Uh, we might get someone. We very very well might get someone. What is this thing? 2 ERPPCs. Oh, that's Federated Commonwealth. Okay, yeah, that's them. All right. So the Saladin will go. Oh, Saladin will go right here. Odin will go right there on top of him. We got Warhammer 1, Warhammer 2, and then Grasshopper can be out here. There we go. What the heck? That is a gigantic force down there. That is a gigantic force. Okay. Wow. This intel is way off. 19,000 battle value. Jeez Louise. We will be getting reinforced. But we just got to kill 25% of them, and that ends the battle. So that's not too big of a problem. Oh, did somebody just find a minefield? They did. Well, we're already ahead. We're already winning. This is what winning looks like. We can go like this. Don't want to get too strung out. Keep our forces together. Ape strung together. So we hit the Warhammer with a minefield. We hit the Phoenix Hawk with a minefield. They're both down to... Hey, Phoenix Hawk fell over. Warhammer fell over. They're both down to structure on the legs. Lovely. And we do have Federated Commonwealth. Am I shooting it? I guess I am. I guess I thought we would have, since we were so outnumbered, I kind of hoped we might have some reinforcement there in the form of these turrets, but apparently not. I guess it makes sense since we are attacking the FedCom planet, now that I think about it. I guess it makes sense. Let's twist. What's in that turret? SRM-4, this is the ERPPC back here. Wow, more. And a blazer cannon. Jeez. What's here? AC2s. That's outrageous. Cool, we hit possibly both the ERPPCs there. Needs 10s, gets them both times, or just once at least. Okay. Did we knock out both the PPCs? The crew's dead. We're not attacking anything physically. No need to punch down these buildings that are out in the middle of nowhere. We will be getting some reinforcements in round 5 and 6. And they'll be starting southeast, so that'll give them a little something to think about. But the FedComs will also be getting reinforcements. So we have to destroy 25% of Op4 and reinforcements. So we have to wait. I mean, if we happen to get super lucky and knock out 25% of this Op4 somehow, like we can't even retreat. We have to wait until round 8 until the reinforcements show up and start fighting them. Don't like that. Not a big fan. All right, Warhammer down here. Warhammer down here. And Grasshopper like that. Settle it in. I'm just going to hide you a little bit. Well, hide you maybe like this. Hey, we got a crab taking some damage to the legs. Don't mind if we do. He's down. Wonder how good their pilots are. If they're falling down this much, they might not be very. 4-5, 5-6. Jeez, they have a lot of mechs. Gosh, golly heck. 4-5, 4-5, 4-5. Okay. So at least we're not facing an elite, team of super soldiers. So both the ERPPCs are dead in that tower. So I'm gonna twist and strike this one. This also has what? That's SRMs. Where's the ERPPC one? That one here? Nope. Laser cannon. There. I can hit it. So we'll put two PPCs in there. We'll can't attack that one, but we can attack this one. Both PPCs. Both PPCs. And twist. We can do that. And the settled ends is kind of chilling out. He's doing his own thing. Oh, nice. Look at that. We're just popping ERPPCs left and right. Hey, the turret blew up. We hit the... I don't know what ammo it was, but we hit it. Very cool. We're doing really well against these helpless turrets. They're inside these buildings. I mean, if we were just fighting turrets, we'd be like gods of the battlefield. All right, the awesome will march up here. My leg armor's looking a little bit chewed upon. But we're gonna start drifting to the left here. Try to pull. We're aiming to pull the enemy through these minefields. Like, keep drifting. And that's a champion, right? That's a champion. That's a victor. Warhammer. Vedette. That Warhammer there is looking pretty chewed. Okay. We're just drifting left. Pull the enemies, string them out. We can see they have on the mini map, there's a lot of mechs on the right over there. So if we can start pulling them towards the left, the faster ones will get strung out. There we go. We got a rifleman hit a mine. All right, Odin. So there's one ERPPC left in this building, and it's sort of your only target. So see if you can knock it out. There's an AC2 turret back there somewhere. That's not it. That's not it. There it is. But no targets, so we'll skip. And we'll just fire one PPC this turn. And then we got the grasshopper. We'll twist. And 9s to hit the Shadowhawk. Oh, this is Moon. Moonajima, I think it is. That original grasshopper pilot. Crew stunned, ERPPC hit. Hopefully it should be the same ERPPC. I think ERPPCs only take up 2 critical spots, and if I hit the first one twice, then there should only be the second one to destroy. Okay. So, yep, both ERPPCs down. I would love to be able to salvage those. Keep drifting to the left. And also, when our reinforcements do arrive, they'll be appearing down this way. It's pulling the enemy a little bit further away in the process. so they won't be able to just turn around and absolutely swarm our reinforcements because the reinforcements are arriving one lance at a time, and there's going to be a couple of turns in between. All right, we don't really have shots. We do have some shots down here on a Wolverine or a Phoenix Hawk. Probably best chances of damaging the Phoenix Hawk with two PPCs on 11s. This one here is, that one's knocked out. So skip, twist, 11s on the Shadowhawk. Sure. And then 7 on the Shadowhawk. They do have a lot of fire coming in. Oh! Oh! Odin with the headshot. Odin with the headshot. That reminds me of so I started my own Discord server back in like 2018. It was whenever the Harebrained Scheme BattleTech game came out, and it's kind of revived BattleTech a little bit for people who they'd never heard of BattleTech, but there's enough role playing elements in that game that it got people interested in role playing. So I started up a MechWarrior Discord server to play MechWarrior Second Edition because I bought MechWarrior, the books, back in the 90s when I was just, a teenager, a kid, but I never got to play them. Like, I never got to play MechWarrior RPG with anyone. Like, no one in my area was I didn't really have any friends that cared about that kind of stuff. And it's basically it's Dungeons and Dragons sci-fi in a way. But I started my own Discord server, and I recruited people from a couple of different Discords and from Reddit and whatnot. And a lot of the people just didn't know anything about BattleTech, so we had a lot of folks who didn't know the basics, didn't know the lore. It's fine. We taught a lot of people. And that campaign lasted a while. I ran the campaign. It's my first time DMing, like dungeon mastering or game mastering. And afterwards, one of our players volunteered to run a game so I could actually get to play. Because I was playing for a gigantic group, by the way. Like, if you know anything about tabletop games, you know that like the sweet spot is between like 4 and maybe 6 players at your table. After that, it becomes like just way too much to manage. I had, I think there were 16 or 18 people on the roster that would like maybe like a third of them would show up at any one particular time. Well, our reinforcements are getting absolutely pummeled here. So we had a gigantic group, so it burnt me out a lot. But we played until the game just kind of lost momentum. Enough people lost interest. They went back to they were playing the game. They were Mech Warrior. Uh, Mech Warrior 5 was like around the corner, like in a few years. And but I got to finally play in a game. I was so excited. And I was playing as Tanaka, Hiroshi Tanaka, former Draconis Combine military guy turned merc. He was also his backstory that he was like an infantry guy who had a little bit of proficiency for being a mech warrior, but he never actually qualified. He didn't have the skills to do it. But they got into like such a rough situation at some point that he ended up taking to a mech and uh, very badly piloting it, but doing just good enough of a job to complete the mission. And then he retired and from the DCMS and went merc. And please don't crash. Went merc, started his own unit, and in our very first battle, my very first time getting to play MechWarrior as a player, We had atmosphere turned on, like planetary conditions. So there was like a sandstorm going on. It was like a tornado, like gale force sandstorm at night. So our shots were like horrendous. And at one point, we finally, spotted the enemy, and it was like I think it was an Orion. Yeah, we'll fire at this guy's back. I think it was an Orion, and I lined up I was standing still in some cover, and I needed like 11s to hit. This is in Mega Mech, and I rolled a 12 to hit, so I hit. And then for the hit location, I rolled another 12, so it was a head hit through the sandstorm. It goes through, it's 10 damage versus 9 armor, and I score one critical hit, and it hits the cockpit, like the actual cockpit, and knocks the guy out, like kills the pilot. One shot, one kill, very first shot of the entire campaign. It was spectacular. And this little shot against that Phoenix Hawk just reminded me of that. I know it's a long story, but what else do we got to do? We're sitting here playing BattleTech. If if now's not the time to tell stories, then when? I may have strung the enemy out. I may have gone a little bit too far to the west, because instead of getting half the enemy chasing me and half the enemy chasing the Draconis Combine reinforcements, it just looks like most of them are chasing the DCs. Yeah, they've basically all turned around. They're running back that way. Oh, maybe they'll run through the minefields. That would be hilarious. All right. Well, let's try to deal with this Shadowhawk since he's over here. Moving a little bit closer so our small lasers hit better. And we'll go like this, or like this. And we're gonna he's gonna get medium lasered, like you wouldn't believe. So it's twist, and we're gonna fire all 3 PPCs into him. He must have jumped. Yeah, I was gonna say, otherwise, normally he seemed like he'd be an easy target. Done. How good of a pilot is he? He is a 4-5, so he's a perfectly average inner sphere house warrior. Like, great house. And the Saladin has no shots. There's a lot going on down there. Oh, hey, there's a FedCom Warhammer just got knocked out. The pilot just got blacked out. All right, there goes the dragon. Farewell and adieu. And this Shadowhawk is surprisingly still on his feet. I would have thought I could have maybe knocked off something in the process, but I guess not. What's he got here? How's he looking? Not too not too good. And it looks like we have some more reinforcements now. All right. Now it's a real battle. All right, Odin, you're just gonna keep you moving. Let's keep you moving down that way. Because once this fight wraps up with a Shadowhawk, the other mechs will catch up pretty quick. So we're like this. The Warhammer will turn and go like that. The Shadowhawk, they have so many units to initiative sync with that I have a bad feeling. What if I turn like that? Yeah, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. If he goes right there, I won't be able to shoot him with like anything, so I'm going to twist like this. Okay, cool. At least he put himself in line of sight of Odin. So it's sevens. I'll just give him two. We'll give him all three PPCs, and I'll cool off next turn. The Warhammer, on the other hand, has no shots. Oh, these stupid mechs. They're bum rushing the AC2 turret. All right, well, let's twist and get my left arm into play. Blam. Let's twist and get all my other guns into play. Blam. Whoops. There's a little bit of a delay on the input in this version. I have noticed that in the I was testing a little bit with 0 point whatever point oh this is oh 06. I was testing with oh 07 originally, and I did notice that there is a little bit of delay in this one and not in the other. Done. All right, looks like the Shadowhawk's down. So the SRM carrier has a stunned crew. It's destroyed. And a Wasp just ate an AC-20 from the Victor. He dead. There's a lot of, like, this is madness. If we can win this battle, there's going to be a lot of loot laying around on the ground. And we don't get to actually keep any of it, but we get to exchange it, exchange the value. Which in its own way is a little bit better, honestly. So we're going to run forward to get basic movement modifier. But yeah, it is a little bit better having exchange because you don't, there's nothing that ends up being left over in the pool. Should I go like this? So for example, if you get like 80, how do you get 80% of a banshee that you killed? You can't. Like you either you have to leave it, you have to leave the whole thing behind. Like this again. There we go. And my grasshopper can back up. Shooting at me. Okay. How's my awesome looking? He's still alright. He's taking some hits. 9s, 11s, 9, 12. Yeah, we'll just fire 2 shots down that way. The Warhammer will. We're gonna go that way. Try to knock out that AC2 turret. If I can get lucky and hit the ammunition or something, that'd be kind of cool. 9s to hit the Warhammer. Yeah, I'll fire one down that way. And we've got everything here going into the back of this Shadowhawk. And we'll also be catching a kick along the way. So much information to absorb. Well, we did knock out one of the EC2s. Looks like the Ostrock or whatever it is down there is getting absolutely slammed. But I think we have successfully split the enemy now. There we go. So Shadowhawk down. We'll skip. The Ostrock is down. So we picked up the pilot. All right. Now for the grasshopper. Time to catch up, my friend. There's a lot of dancing in that minefield happening. And I'm not sure what's going on exactly, but it looks like the Draconis Combine reinforcements down there might be completely gone. But they've done quite a bit of damage. Now the question is, where are the reinforcements? That's Draconis Combine. Where are the FedCom reinforcements at? What round is this? Round 10. So Op 4. So it's ground reinforcements. Okay, that might be a little bit tough to get to, actually. What about this one? Op 4. Let's check this out real quick. Ground reinforcements. Oh, okay. Well, we have to kill 25% since it's such a huge force. There we go. So any damage to the ground reinforcements will put us over on that. And we need to get in like 7% more damage to the Op 4. So now we know what we're fighting for. Let's move this Warhammer up. Let's move this Warhammer up. Odin is going to dip down here and get some partial cover behind that building. The Saladin is going to go like this and get some cover behind this building. It looks like we do have some mechs that are drifting north towards the Draconis Combine reinforcements. So if they would let themselves be distracted a little bit, that would be very nice. So this is the champion. Champions are not super well armored as far as I know. Not really. For like a 60-ton, for like a 60-ton mech, that's not great armor. Not great weaponry. It's all right, but it's not great. All right, let's twist. We will fire at the champion. On 8s, that means 2 shots from the PPCs. The Warhammer will fire at that Shadowhawk there, I think. Yeah, 1 PPC. And that's a Victor. No good chance of hurting it with 1 PPC, so. Saladin, no shot. Okay. Draconis Combine Archer putting in a little bit of work. All right, jammed AC2. That's one less thing to shoot at us for a bit. What we really need is the Draconis Combine, those lighter mechs, to do like an end around and just put like 1 or 2 shots into one of those vehicles. That would help me out greatly. Odin. How tall are these? These are height 1. So I can walk up like that and get partial cover behind it. The Warhammer can go right here. Can go right here. Don't want to be up against this hillside here, because if someone gets up there, they can kick me in the face. And if I'm going to get kicked, I'd prefer it not to be in my beautiful face. And I'm going to back up. Can't quite get into the woods. So what if I go like that? And the Saladin can go like that. All right. So Odin doesn't have many shots, but I can start working on that Shadowhawk there. On 8s, 2 shots. Not a whole lot of shots with this Warhammer. That archer is damaged. Left torso, I think you have ammo in that left torso. You do have ammo there. So we're going to fire at that archer. On 6s, we'll do both barrels. And no shots with this Warhammer other than into the Victor. So we'll give him just 1 barrel for now. This Grasshopper can go into the Champion. The Champion isn't really hurt. Just his left arm. So what about the Victor? 7s versus 3s? All right, we'll do this. We'll start working on that Champion. The Saladin has no shots. Oh, okay. At least the AC-20 missed. Wow. Look at that. The friendly archer hit the enemy archer and knocked out the pilot. And I hit the Shadowhawk in the right torso, took out his ammo. Okay, we're getting there. I took a decent hit in return on my Warhammer. All right, that should put them below 75%. They're at 75.59. So basically there. All right, what do I do here? I think rotate this Warhammer out a bit. So we're going to back them up. 4 hexes, get some range going. We're going to, this Warhammer, I need to get him away from that Victor. Well, if I go like this, he'll be getting shot in the back quite a lot. So I'm going to move Odin first. Odin can move down here and do like a slight turn. Oh, geez. I'm actually in a little bit of a bad spot here. I can do this. Just extend. And then the Grasshopper can back up into these woods, I suppose. And then the Saladin, still hiding. He'll get his chance eventually. Oh boy, he's right in the back of that Warhammer, isn't he? All right, well, let's twist. We'll do all 3 PPCs into the Champion. We'll do 1 PPC. That's a ground reinforcement there. So if I can hit that 1 time, so I have to take my chance. Going for an 8. Twist. I do not have shots. Oh wow, I do down there. That Wolverine. Well, fire at the Wolverine, I guess. And I'll unload on the Champion again. I'm going to overheat to do it. Oh, my poor little Saladin. He's about to get kicked. Oh, cool. Oh, ER large laser. This is an upgraded Phoenix Hawk. It's the 2K. This is the Draconis Combine upgrade for the Phoenix Hawk for 3040, like 5 or 3047, somewhere in that region. And I can't really do anything. No. Oh well. Saladin down. It's all right. He he never even got the chance to shine. I was hiding him the whole time. All right, Odin is going to have to back that thing up, and the Warhammer can get down into the forest. This Warhammer can continue backing up. I'm only going to go 3 this time. The Grasshopper is the only thing I have left to move. So we're going to jump over here. Nope, we're going to jump over this thing. Champions can't jump, right? They cannot. So we're just going to go like that. The Grasshopper is going to be the main target again of the enemy force, probably just due to proximity. And I don't even know if I scored a hit on that tank or not. Let's go back and check the round report real quick. Ground reinforcements, I must have scored a hit. They were at like 7.9. And score 1 more hit on a ground vehicle to bring them under 75%. All right, who can I shoot at? Nobody wants to be shot at by Odin. They're all hiding. But I can twist and shoot the champion for 6s, or the vedette for 7s. We're gonna go for the champion. The champion's like on top of us right now. It's crawling down our throat. The Warhammer still being shot at by that AC2. Very persistent. Very foolish. 6s on the archer. We'll give you both barrels. Twist. And well, that's kind of convenient because what is that, an LRM carrier? Ugh, come on. What is that thing back there? That's a vedette. That one or that one. They're both 9s. Yeah, I guess we'll just shoot at the vedette with 1 PPC. My Warhammer is being a little bit desperate right now. He's really just focused more on survival than anything else. So we're going to do all the medium lasers. That champion's vulnerable. Don't know. Want to see. I didn't take 20 damage that round, so that's a good sign, even with all this stuff shooting at us. Done. How are we looking? I didn't hit any ground vehicles that time, but the enemy is below 75%. So if I can score 1 more hit on a vehicle, the ground reinforcements, like preferably a PPC hit. So Odin, okay. The Warhammer, looking pretty good now. Go 5 like that, or like this. Like this, I think. Nope, that's the way to get myself kicked in the head. All right, so we're gonna go up here. Like this. Odin will take over this forest. That little patch of woods. Not really a forest, is it? How's my armor looking? Not good. And my left torso, I believe, has ammo in it. It does not. Okay. So not as bad, but my right torso is very vulnerable. So we're going to back up the Warhammer 3 hexes. The Grasshopper is going to back up 4 and get the champion in sight. All right. Who do I have to shoot at? Oh, look at all these forces attacking that poor little Phoenix Hawk. Let's twist. And I don't really have any targets with this Warhammer. I can do one left arm PPC to the north. So we'll shoot at that same archer we've been shooting at for a while now. Odin, no vehicle shots. So we're going to focus on who can we actually kill in here. I see someone named Bee Sting. Looks like a wasp. Phoenix Hawk. And that crab. The crab, I think the crab will be my target because its legs are vulnerable. What about the Phoenix Hawk? Actually, its legs are just as vulnerable. So how do my numbers look? 7 versus 4s. All right, we'll hit the 4s. The Warhammer. No shots on anyone. So the AI is moving intelligently still. They can calculate all that stuff way better than we can. And looks like the champion's down. The crab took 3 PPCs hits, nothing to the legs. Well, one to the only good leg he's got. That's fine. All right, champion down, crab down and blacked out. Skip. And is that Phoenix Hawk still alive in there? That'd be kind of amazing if it were. Yes, it is. Okay. So Warhammer, we're going to back you up into the forest. So you should have partial cover behind the building. Oh, it's height 3? Oh, that's why you couldn't shoot. Okay. We still have shots to the north here. Odin. You know what? You're actually still kind of good. You get a +1 for being in the forest. But you could also get a +1 and partial cover. That would seriously expose your back to the enemy there. So we're going to march this Warhammer up 3 hexes to give him some line of sight. And I'm really low on assets here. So we're going to move the grasshopper. How tall are these buildings? Level height 1, height 1. There we go. Move them right there. Give them some partial cover. But this is unfortunate because I would only be able to twist and fight north, and my back would be to all this stuff down here. So I think Odin is just going to stay where he's at this turn. I don't like it. But it's as if he moved 3 for being in the forest there. Or the wood patch. Okay. The enemy is hiding like crazy. All right. So what is that? That's a Vedette. Ground reinforcements. Can my Warhammer see that? He cannot. But he can see this guy down here. This is the Wolverine, right? Yep. How's his armor look? Not good. So Warhammy Whammy is going to twist and put 7s into that guy. Oh my gosh, get out of my face. The Grasshopper is going to focus on this Vedette. There we go. And Odin, let's see what we got up north here first. Warhammer has shots on a very fresh Shadowhawk, or, well, that's really it. 9s, 8s, 10. So the very fresh Shadowhawk will give him 1 PPC, and I think 2 medium lasers. Done. And then the awesome doesn't really have anyone to shoot at except for this archer. How's the archer look? His right torso. That's the one with the blown open potential ammo. All right, let's do all 3 barrels into the archer. cool. So we definitely hit the Vedat. It should be below 75% now for the enemy ground reinforcements. Skip. Done. And this is the part where we've done the job that we needed to do. So they're at 73%. They are at 76%. Oh no. I still have to. Oh no, no. Where did I see 76%? Oh, the of the units remaining, but their total is down to 65. Let's give it one more round, and then I think we're going to call it because we are getting long in the tooth here. We're an hour in. All right, Warhammer, you can stay where you're at. Odin, still looking okay. You know what? You'll stay where you are. This Warhammer can go down here and get some shots on people. I could even move like that and get a +2. And then the Grasshopper can go like this. Nope. He's overheating. He's going to go like that and turn. Okay. So, Odin, firing at who exactly? That archer's pretty messed up, but he's hiding. I could shoot at the crab some more. I could shoot at the Phoenix Hawk. Alright, let's see who the Warhammer has shots at first. So he's got shots at almost no one. So he can fire at the Victor or the Shadowhawk. Shadowhawk's the most likely one I can do damage to. 5s on the Shadowhawk. Hang on, Grasshopper at the Phoenix Hawk, I think. Odin at the Phoenix Hawk. 6s. Fire 2 PPCs. And then the Warhammer at 2 shots at the crab. Oh, Phoenix Hawk just got clobbered by the AC-20. Alright, well that's one more archer down for the enemy. We're just fighting for money at this point for salvage. Alright, we have to go one more full round because I'm clicking through it, so let's do it. Alright. I think I'll move the Warhammer that's in the forest first. Nope, he's a little bit vulnerable to this Wolverine that's creeping up on him. So Odin, actually this Warhammer here, I can back him up. Where is, yeah, try to figure out where that Victor's going to land at. Check out this Wolverine. What kind of weapons does he have left? Still got a medium laser and an SRM. So if he went behind me, it would be kind of crappy, but I think I'll still be okay. I can do one round of being shot in the back by him. And okay, that's not good. Grasshopper's going to go. That's another way to get shot in the back, isn't it? How good is that Victor pilot? He's average. and he walked, so he needs a 5 to hit, a 7, an 8. He would need 8 with the AC 20 if I were right there. I can go like that. I can go like I can't even really run away too well with Odin. I'll be shooting north, but it hit the archer at least. All right, off I go. How's my back armor look? Still pretty solid. Not great, but fairly solid. Sixes will do it. Warhammer on this Shadowhawk or that Wolverine. So we'll do the Wolverine, 2 PPCs. We'll do 2 PPCs at the archer in the back. And then 1 PPC. How damaged is this Shadowhawk? Not at all, really. If I twist and get shots on that crab down there, but little else. Right, the Jenner's gone. Clobbered by the AC 20. They have a thug? I haven't even seen the thug. Okay. I think this might be it, right? Are we done? I would say we're done. We've done the job that was asked of us. Skip through. Let the physicals resolve. Done. Okay. Victory. Done. Nope. Nope. Done. We retain control of the battlefield. We completed the mission. The Saladin is got his butt kicked in. The crew, most of the crew of the Saladin are dead. We have 1 survivor. Let's see. So that turret does not escape. All this other stuff gets away for the most part. Turret does not get away. Turret does not get away. Everything else gets sold. All right, cool. Next. Next. Okay, the shredder turret was crippled by, that would be the grasshopper. Yes. The blazer turret got killed. That was one of the Warhammers, I believe. The archer, I can't even remember anymore. I'm just going to assign it to the grasshopper. And then the SRM carrier, that was not us. We did force the withdrawal. And we'll call it done. We lost a couple people. They get paid out. Issue rewards. Munijima got 4 kills, so he gets a bronze star for her or him. I don't know, whichever. Guess it doesn't matter too much. Then we still have an engagement listed for today, but that's going to be it for us. We gained 5.2 million C-bills. Check out the unit market. Oh, look, right here. There's a replacement Saladin. So let's purchase that. How do you do? Shrek PPC carrier. Cool, yeah. So we'll replace the Saladin in 35 days. We'll have to keep our eye out for some crew. Personnel market. There's a veteran mech warrior. Pick you up higher. And that'll be it. That's it. Next time we meet up, we'll be doing this little battle right here, and we'll keep on clicking. The enemy is still considered dominating, even though we've been beating the brakes off of them in some of these scenarios. But until then, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it more than you could ever know. And I will see you later.